Well, hello, plumbing and HVAC business owners and marketers. Congratulations on requesting the ultimate plumbing and HVAC website conversion machine template. You're among a very elite few of plumbing and HVAC business owners and marketers that have decided to invest their time and invest their intellectual capital in learning and identifying what works versus what doesn't. And I just want to congratulate you for taking that action, as opposed to doing what a lot of plumbing and HVAC business owners do, which is just accepting that they've tried SEO, they've tried pay-per-click, they've tried Angie's List and Yelp, and invested a lot of money and a lot of resources in internet marketing that just doesn't work. And a lot of them are frustrated because they're not getting the calls, they're not getting the return on investment, and they've just kind of decided it is what it is. But you're taking the proactive approach, looking for the right information, seeking it out, and I want to congratulate you for that. My name is Josh Nelson. I'm the author of The Complete Guide to Internet Marketing for Plumbing Contractors, as well as the best-selling Internet Marketing for Plumbing and HVAC Contractors, How to Triple Your Sales by Getting Your Internet Marketing Right. And I'm excited to share this cheat sheet with you, which you now have access to. You just need to scroll down below and download it. What we've done is, in our years working with literally hundreds of plumbing and HVAC companies all throughout the United States, and through our affiliation with PHCC, QSC, Service Roundtable, and Nexstar, we've been able to really figure out what works in terms of a website, in terms of conversion from visitor to caller versus what doesn't. And we've taken our research and our data and our split tests and figured out, you can have the same traffic go to one plumbing and HVAC website and only get a handful of calls. And then you can drive that same traffic to another more optimized website and get 2, 3, or 5 times the amount of leads for the same amount of traffic. And so we spent a lot of time really focusing on that particular element and figuring out what the variables are and what drives conversion. And that's where we came up with this ultimate plumbing and HVAC conversion machine template. It really boils down the key things: where you should put your phone number, what type of social icons you should use, what kind of trust factors should come into play, and really spells it out in a very detailed way. So I'm excited that you now have access to this. Now, this cheat sheet is only one part of an overall internet marketing strategy. So if you look at your entire internet marketing sphere, the website is kind of the foundation. It's the main thing you have to have, right? You have to have a website, and it has to have content in order to be in the game. And if you've been in business for any period of time, you probably have a website and you're driving some traffic to it, but this is all about how do we get more leads and more calls from that traffic. With that said, you can have the best, most highly converting website in the world, but if it doesn't rank well in the organic listings, if it doesn't rank well on the Google map, if it's not driving traffic from a variety of sources, it's not going to really generate much increase for you. So I just want to make it clear that yes, you've got the cheat sheet. It's going to give you great information. It will help you double, triple, or even 10x the number of calls and leads that you get from your existent website. I'm excited for you for that. But it's only part of a much bigger strategy. So what I want to do with you right now is go through this checklist with you in detail. Because if you're like me, you get emails all the time. There's new PDFs, there's new webinars, there's new information coming out all the time. And you might think, wow, this looks interesting. Download it, and then it sits in your inbox or it sits on your desktop, and you don't really have the time to look at it, to research it, to understand it, to internalize it, and then to do any type of implementation with it. So you opted in for this because you want to get the best ideas. You want to increase your leads and your calls via the internet. So let's spend some time together, and I'm going to dive into each of these elements with you throughout the rest of this presentation, and then paint the picture of where you're at in the grand scheme of your overall internet marketing strategy, what you need to do and what you could do in order to triple your sales by getting your internet marketing right. So you have to optimize for conversion, and just to make sure we're clear and we're all on the same page, Conversion is somebody gets to your website, they browse around. Convert is them taking the action we want them to take. And that action, in the case of your plumbing or HVAC business, is to pick up the phone and call your office. Occasionally, it's good for them to send in a web submission. Those are good too, but it's really all about converting for the call. And why is conversion so important? Well, I just want to paint two different scenarios for you. Scenario one, let's just say you've got an average performing plumbing or HVAC website that drives 500 visitors per month. And those visitors, maybe they come from organic search, from the Google Maps, or from pay-per-click advertising, kind of a mix of those three things. And you have a conversion rate of 5%. That's conversion from visitor to the site to caller, which may be right about average with the industry, being that somebody's on your site typically because they have an urgent issue, right? Their plumbing's not working, their AC's not blowing cool air. Most of those people are going to call someone, so the fact that only 5% are calling in, it can be probably pretty frustrating for you. And so if you take those 500 visitors and multiply it by 5%, you drive about 25 calls or leads for that traffic. And let's say you have a 10% close ratio on the phone, your technicians convert those calls, or your dispatcher can convert 10% of those calls into sales. And the average transaction value is about $350, what we found within the plumbing and HVAC space. Lifetime customer value, however, a lot higher, knowing that somebody's going to use you once, potentially use you again, and maybe they start with a leaky faucet or a clogged drain, and a lot of them turn into higher end projects. So lifetime customer value, I'm going to use $2,500. So for that, scenario one, with these close ratios, on the front end you drive $875 in revenue, not too great, and a lifetime customer value revenue of about $6,250. Not bad, not terrible, not great either. So let's just say in a different scenario, we're able to increase this by double. We're able to take the conversion from 5% to 10%. This is not a crazy expectation. It's not something out of the blue. It's very feasible if you have a typical plumbing and HVAC website and you implement the strategies that we outline on this one-page PDF. You can see a doubling, tripling, or even a 10x in the conversion of your website. So let's just say we're able to get that same 500 visitors and able to move the conversion rate from 5% to 10%. That would mean for that same traffic, not doing anything new on SEO or pay-per-click or anything else, no new content created, we just took the same traffic, we improved the conversion because we had the right elements. That would mean with that same close ratio of 10%, and you might yell at me and say, no, we close 50 or 60% of our calls. That's fine. This is just for illustrative purposes. That same thing, we can generate $1,750 in front-end revenue and $12,500 in lifetime customer value. So just by making that one tweak to the conversion, we're able to double the leads and double the revenues. So hopefully I've got your attention and got you focused on this whole idea of conversion being important, because we want to maximize the return on investment from we get out of any of our online marketing. So what do you need to do in order to optimize for conversion? This one-page document really spells it out for you in a very clear way so that you can look at it on your own if you're a little bit technically savvy, or if you've got an outside company or a web designer that you're working with, you can sit down with them and kind of map out, okay, this is what this website needs to have in order to be effective. Part of the reason most websites for plumbing and HVAC companies aren't as effective as they should be is because there's no framework. I know most guys will hire a local web designer, or they'll go with a national company like Reach Local or Yodel. And, these companies aren't hyper-focused on conversion. They haven't spent a lot of time working with 10, 20, 30, 100 plus plumbing and HVAC companies. So it's really just a stab in the dark. They throw up a website, they put some content up, and they hope that it works. So what we've found, based on working with literally hundreds of websites, what's the important elements? First of all, you want to make sure that you have your phone number in the top right-hand corner on every single page of your website. We've done heat map testing, And that's just where people's eyes naturally look. And we know that the eyes naturally gravitate to the top right-hand corner of the page. So that's where you want to have your phone number. And you also want to have your call to action. Click here to schedule an appointment right in that top right-hand corner. And not just on the home page, but on every page of the website. So if they happen to be on the drain cleaning page or the About Us page or the coupons page, they don't have to scroll around. They don't have to hit the Contact Us button. Their eyes can just go straight to the top right-hand corner and dial your office. The second variable that we found to have a huge impact on conversion is the use of authenticity, real authentic images of the owners of the company, the team, the truck, the office, to the extent that you can have a picture of yourself, the owner, or your team, that resonates with people. The main thing you need your website to do is when they get there, for them to feel confident and comfortable that you're the right company and for them to want to pick up the phone and call you. Well, if you've got a stock photo of an actor that's holding a wrench, there's no connection there. So you want to have that connection and you want to greet them. To the extent you can say, hey, welcome to the website, here's who we are, here's what we do, that has a huge impact on conversion. And that's what I'm talking about, where I can look at one website that was built by a web designer that has beautiful stock photography, looks really crisp and clean, but converts at like 3 or 4% from visitor to caller. And then we can put some of these types of variables in place and see that conversion jump to 20+%. Has a huge impact on the results with no other change other than just modifying these things on the website. You want to leverage your social symbols, Facebook, Google+, Twitter. And this is all about social proof. People don't want to feel like they're the only person that's taking the risk in calling your company. It's almost like when you go to the restaurant and you go to the one restaurant that's got 2 people sitting there and crickets and you're like, whoa, I don't know if I really want to eat here. And then you look across the way and there's a restaurant that's got every table filled and it's hustling and it's bustling. Just subconsciously you say, wow, that must be a better experience. So that's where social media, you can start to show that you're a legitimate company and you're not the only person in the restaurant. You also want to show your trust symbols. Again, subconsciously, when somebody's looking for a plumbing or HVAC company and they get to the website, one of their biggest apprehensions is, am I going to get ripped off? Is this person going to be around 3 months from now when things didn't work out correctly? And so if you can give them the confidence that you're solid and subconsciously putting up logos like QSC, PHCC, the BBB, your Angie's List award, that tells the person that you're solid and that they can feel confident doing business with you. So you want to have this prominently featured on your website. You also want to try and use multimedia where possible. Different people engage with content in different ways. Some people like to read, some people like to listen, other people like to watch video. And I've heard it said often, a picture's worth 1,000 words. Well, if a picture's worth 1,000 words, then a video is worth 10,000 customers. So you want to make sure you have video that speaks directly to the person on your website. I only say this because I've seen it play out time and time again. You've got a website with a static image versus a website of the owner saying, hey, welcome to Kasha Plumbing. We're the leaders in this area. This is what we do. This is our unique customer experience. Call us now. That website converts 10 to 1 over the generic website with just static blank images. Make sure to showcase your online reviews and reputation. Again, their biggest apprehension in calling you is, can I trust this company? And nothing says trust like the reviews from other customers that have used you in the past. So you want to make sure you've got a section on your website where you're showcasing all the reviews you have across the web, where they can click on it and they can read those reviews and they can feel like it's legit. Now, there's ways that you can use reviews and testimonials that it seems fake and it's corny and it goes to white noise. But if you really display your authentic reviews and you show the source where they can click on the Facebook icon and see that review right on Facebook, or they can click the BBB icon and see it right on BBB, that has a huge impact. So make sure somewhere above the fold on the homepage of your website, there's a place where people can see your reviews, they can click those reviews, and they can read them. have a contact us form on your website. Some people are going to pick up the phone and call, most of them. But there's a lot of cases where people are at the office and they're not in a position where they can make a call, but they're researching to find the right plumbing or HVAC company. Having a web form on just about every page of your website in an easy to access section makes it easier for them to contact you and a higher probability of conversion. So we found having a web form bolted onto the home page and the subpages of your website has a huge impact. The other one that's really critical is to make sure that you have a call to action under each block of text on your website. So whether it's the home page or the drain cleaning page, always tell them what to do next. So call us at this number or click here to download a coupon. Give them the next step. Tell them exactly what to do. Don't just end your page without a very specific call to action within the text. So the other critical element is mobile optimization. We know that there's 4.8 billion people that now own mobile phones. And 3 out of 5 of consumers that are looking for local businesses, specifically plumbing and HVAC businesses, are doing it from their mobile phones. Statistics tell us, because we have literally hundreds of websites that we have access to the analytics on, more than 35% of the people getting to plumbing and HVAC websites are getting there from their mobile phones. So they're in an urgent situation, the AC is not working, or the plumbing's not working, and rather than going to a desktop, in a lot of cases, and it's going to become more and more as time progresses, they're taking out their mobile phone and they're running a search and they're pulling up your website. The other thing that's real critical that you understand here, Google did a research report and found that 40% of mobile users will turn to a competitor's website if they get to a non-mobile optimized version of a website. So this is huge. If you don't take anything else away from this cheat sheet and from this video, take this. If you're not mobile optimized, you're losing out on probably 40% of the people that are getting to your website from mobile phones, and that's more than 30% of the traffic to your website. So this is critically important. Make sure that your website fits within the confines of an Android screen or an iPhone screen, and that it's got a simple click to call button. It makes it so much easier, the experience so much better for your end customer, and will drive a heck of a lot more calls and leads. And the last element on our cheat sheet is to make sure that you have the ability to track every lead and every call. Because if you're driving traffic, and one thing I've learned over the years is that what gets measured gets done. So if you don't have a measurement mechanism in place to say how many calls are coming in, how many web submissions, and how many people are getting to the website, you have no idea, and there's no way that you can improve. So there's some great tools for this that cost very little. One is called Google Analytics. I'm sure you're familiar with it. Make sure that you take the code from Google Analytics and put it on your website so you can see exactly how many people got to the website, what they typed in to get there, how long they're staying, how deep they're drilling down into your website. And then another great tool is called CallRail, and it's a call tracking system where you can put a unique phone number on your website and be able to track exactly how many calls are coming in and hear recordings of those conversations. Very low cost, high return on investment, and this is what you need to do in order to make sure that your website is converting. Because if you don't have this baseline tracking in place, you won't know. You won't know what your conversion rate is. You don't know where there's room for improvement. So make sure you make that investment in that time. So that's the cheat sheet, and we've gone through it in a lot of depth. And what we wanted to do was boil this down for you in such a simple way that you can take this, you can sit down with your web guys, you can sit down with your internal team, or you can go and implement on your own in less than an hour the exact elements that will drive 2, 3, or up to as much as 10 times increase in the conversion from visitor to your website to caller. And like I said before, your website, which is the foundation of your internet marketing strategy, is what we covered in this video and on this cheat sheet. And it's really only one part of 10 major elements that go into driving a highly successful online marketing initiative for your plumbing or HVAC business. Because as I mentioned before, if you've got a great website, but it's not showing up in organic search, on the organic listings and on the Google map, if it's not showing up in the paid listings, it's not going to be getting much traffic. So you have to make sure you've got a strategy to really capitalize and drive more sales. And what we've got is the Online Dominance Blueprint, which is a proven systematic approach for driving 3 times more leads in sales for your plumbing and HVAC business. And it really spells out the top 10 things that you need to be aware of, that you need to be paying very close attention to in order to maximize that lead flow. So I've got a webinar coming up where I'm going to go in depth on the entire Online Dominance Blueprint, all of the steps that you need to make sure you put in place to get 3 times more leads and 3 times increase in your sales for your plumbing or HVAC business online. I'd like to invite you, right on this page, there's a button where you can choose Reserve My Seat. For a limited time, I'm going to be putting on these online workshops, going in depth and really helping you implement the strategies that we've discovered and that I've outlined in our book, How to Triple Your Sales by Getting Your Internet Marketing Right. We covered a lot. Let me give you some next steps and some things I want you to do next. First, scroll to the bottom and download the worksheet below. There's 2 worksheets. There's one which is your actual cheat sheet, and the other is the worksheet for the webinar that will help you get clear on the things that you need to be doing and really get clear on what you might be doing well and what you're missing. I want you to print that in advance of the webinar so you can be prepared and we can get to work and really roll up our sleeves and not just have you sit there listening to me talk, but rather put together a very specific plan of action to take your plumbing or HVAC business to the next level. The other thing I want you to do is to register for the webinar. So you're going to download the worksheets, then you're going to register for the webinar by choosing the time that's best for you. And again, I'm doing this pretty frequently. Just invest the time to understand the right internet marketing strategy for your business. So pick that time. And then, of course, below at the very middle of this page is a section where you can share comments, you can like the page, you can give us feedback. Our team's invested literally tens of thousands of dollars in research, in graphics design, in video production to bring this to you. So if you think this is valuable, if you think it's cool that we're sharing a proven template that's going to help you double, triple, or 10x the leads that you get from your existing website at no charge, all I ask is that you go to that comment section and you give us a shout out. Hey, this is awesome stuff. Thanks so much for sharing it. Press the like button. Share it with any of your plumbing or HVAC colleagues that you think could benefit from this. And the other thing is, on the webinar, which we run pretty frequently, I like to use real-world examples. And I like to look at websites and share, here's a website that's in the plumbing or HVAC space, here's what they're doing wrong, and here's what we would do differently in order to get better results for them. If you'd like us to do that for your website and maybe feature you on one of the upcoming webinars, in the comment box, just type, Josh, please review my website or some facsimile thereof. If you'd like to talk with us and you're ready to talk about how we can help you get your internet marketing right, help you figure out what you should be doing next, and really explain what we can do as a company to help you increase your sales and get your internet marketing going, we'd love the opportunity to talk with you. You can call us directly at 866-610-4647. Just no pressure, just a quick call to talk about your strategy and show you how we can help. Or register for the webinar now. Make sure you get registered, make sure to print out the worksheets, and I'll look forward to seeing you on the webinar soon. Thanks so much for your time.